Hi, today we're going to look at the topic speed, distance and time. In particular, we're going to look at calculating the distance. Okay, so the first thing I'd like you to do is to stop the recording and to change each of these minutes into a fraction of an hour. So please pause the video. Okay, so let's have a think about these minutes and what fraction of an hour they are. So 15 minutes, if you think about the big hand pointing up to 12, we go 5, 10, 15 minutes. So the 15 is round over there. So the minute hand would move from the 12 round to the 3 there. Okay, now hopefully you can see that a fraction of the whole hour there would be a quarter of the whole hour. Okay, let's think about the 30 minutes again. Okay, we're starting from the 12 o'clock hand. Where's 30 minutes? Where would it be? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's round to there. And hopefully you can see from that that the hand has moved halfway around the clock. So 30 minutes is the same as a half of an hour. Okay, next one I'm going to look at is 45 minutes. So again, starting from the 12, imagine how far the minutes hand would move for 45 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And the minutes hand would end up round there. Now again, hopefully you can see that that hand there has travelled 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. So 45 minutes is the same as 3 quarters of an hour. Okay. Okay, the next one's 20 minutes. So again, starting from here. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. So the hand would move round to there. This one's a little bit trickier. You might not actually be able to see what fraction this one would be. So let's just carry on counting round in 20s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Maybe you can see it now. 5, 10, 15, 20. If you look at the hands that I've drawn, it has created 3 spaces. 1 space there, 1 space there, and 1 space there. And we're working with just this one. So we're working with that red space. That red space is equal to 1 space out of 3 spaces altogether. 1/3 of an hour. Okay. And last one there, 20 minutes to 40 minutes, you double. So we double 1/3, we've got 2/3. So 40 minutes is 2/3 of an hour. Okay, so in this question here, we've got a car and it's travelling 48 miles per hour. It's travelling 48 miles every 1 hour. Okay, so the question is, how far will it travel in 2 hours? Okay, and my answer will be in miles. How many miles will it travel in 2 hours? Now, hopefully you realise that to get from 1 to 2, we double. So we double our 48. That will give us our answer. 48 times 2. You may use a calculator. Gives you 96 miles. How far will it travel in 2 hours? It will travel 96 miles in 2 hours. Okay, the next question we have here is talking about a walker. The walker is travelling 4 kilometres every 1 hour. And the question says, how far will they travel in 3 hours? Okay, so hopefully you realise to get from 1 to 3, we multiply by 3. So do the same to the other side, multiply this by 3, and we'll get an answer of 12 kilometres because 4 times 3 makes 12. Okay, so to answer the question, how far will they travel in 3 hours? They will travel 12 kilometres in 3 hours. Okay, so in this question here, we've got our person. They are running 11 kilometres in 1 hour. And the question's saying, how far do they run in 30 minutes? Okay, now one of our slides at the start, we were thinking about what fraction of an hour 30 minutes is, okay? Because we're being asked about minutes, but we're working in hours, so 30 minutes is the same as half an hour. Okay, so for this one here, one way to do this is one way, I'll show you another way in a minute. 1 hour is the same as half an hour. When we're finding half of something, we divide it by 2. 11 shared by 2, again, remember you can use a calculator, that comes out at 5.5 kilometres. How far will they run in 30 minutes? They will run 5.5 kilometres. Now that's one way to do it. Okay, now I'm going to do another way. 11 kilometres is the same. 11 kilometres has been travelled in 1 hour. Okay, hopefully you know that 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use something called the unitary method. I'm going to take it down to 1 minute. And then I'm going to build it back up to the 30 minutes. Okay, right. When we do it this way, to get from 60 to 1, we divide by 60. And then to get from 1 up to 30, we times by 30. Now if we do the same thing over here, 11 divided by 60 and times by 30, it will give you the 5.5 kilometres again. We'll use this method later when the minutes are a little bit more complicated. Okay. Okay, so for this next question here, we have got a train. It is travelling 80 kilometres every 1 hour. Okay, and we need to find out how far it's going to travel in 15 minutes. Again, we've got a slight problem. We're being asked to work this one with minutes, but if we remember from the starter, 15 minutes is the same as a quarter of an hour. So I'm going to go back to this bit. I need to work with 1 quarter of an hour. How far will a train go in 1 quarter? So to get from 1 to a quarter, remember we divide by 4 for a quarter. So we're going to do the same over here. Divide by 4 for a quarter. Okay, 80 divided by 4, and that gives us 20 kilometres. How far does it travel in 15 minutes? It travels 20 kilometres in 15 minutes. Okay, I'll show you another method too. Okay, so this time I'm going to do 80 kilometres is travelled every 1 hour. That means that 80 kilometres is travelled every 60 minutes. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is work out how far it travels in 1 minute, and then think about how far will it go in the 15 minutes. Okay, so to get from 60 to 1, we share by 60. Something divided by itself makes 1. And then to make it up to 15, I will multiply it by 15, not 50. Okay, so let's put 15 in there, that's better. So to get my answer, I need to divide by 60 and then multiply by 15. 80 divided by 60 and multiply 15, that will come out again. That will come out at 20 kilometres again. Okay, it should do because that's the answer we got on the other side. Okay. For this next one here, we've got a plane. It is travelling at 360 kilometres every 1 hour. Okay, now we didn't look at what the fraction was for 42 minutes. Okay, so I'm not sure what the fraction for this one is, so I'm going to use the method where I think 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. So how far will it go in 1 minute? And therefore, how far will it go in 42 minutes? Okay, so to get from 60 to 1, divide the number by itself to get 1, and then to make it into 42, okay, to make this 1 into 42, times it by 42. So to get straight to the answer, I'm going to divide by 60 and times by 42. 360 divided by 60 and then times it by 42. Okay, and this comes out as 252 kilometres. It travels 252 kilometres in 42 minutes. Okay. Okay, one last question. We've got a cyclist. They're travelling 24 kilometres every 1 hour. This is the same as the cyclist doing 24 kilometres every 60 minutes because 1 hour has 60 minutes in it, okay? The problem we have here again is that we didn't look at what fraction 18 minutes was of a whole hour. Okay, so I'm going to turn my 60 minutes into 1 minute. And then I'm going to turn my 1 minute into 18 minutes there. Okay, so again, 60 shared by itself makes the 1. And then to turn the 1 into 18, I'm going to multiply by 18. So let's find our answer. We have to divide by 60 and times by 18. Let's use the trusty calculator. Okay, and we get 7.2 kilometres. The cyclist travels 7.2 kilometres in 18 minutes.